So let's start with maybe the team that had the craziest offseason. No. Not the craziest, because that's
Not
definitely the
necessarily.
Bucks. But one of the crazier off seasons, the Arizona Cardinals. Where do you have
Yep.
them?
I got them. I think I texted you this earlier. I think the NFC is going to be fucking ridiculous. More ridiculous than it was last year.
Yeah, it has to be.
But I just have this feeling the Cardinals are going to sneak in the playoffs at the 6th spot.
So you got them at the playoff contender?
I do.
They're tough.
I think they might be my second favorite team in the league.
Like from just watching them?
I like Kyler Murray. I love that they just get Hopkins because Bill O'Brien's an idiot. And then they get Simmons at 8. He just falls in their lap.
Great pick.
They had no chance. They had no desire of going defense. And the best player maybe in the draft just falls in their lap at 8.
Yep.
And then I think if I'm the Giants, I'm going Simmons. I mean, if I'm the Lions, I'm going Simmons.
Yeah, I think so too.
How do you go a corner over Simmons, dude?
Then they get Josh Jones in the 3rd round, who some people thought was one of the best tackles.
Still a great lineman.
Yeah, some people thought he was one of the best tackles in the whole draft. They got him in the 3rd round.
You got Kenyon Drake in the backfield.
I love Kenyon Drake.
I mean, they made like people. I think maybe the biggest doubt is Cliff, but from what I saw last year, there's nothing where I'm like, okay, Cliff's just gonna shit the bed.
Right.
The only thing other than that is just how tough Tennessee is gonna be.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put them in the 500 range just for the time being.
Yeah.
But you do have to like how last season. I mean, there were growing pains at first, dude. I'm rewatching the entire NFL season because I'm like in between shows right now.
Yep.
And so I'm just going back, watching condensed versions of every game. Dude, their offense was horribly bad.
Yeah.
Like horribly bad.
But their line was the worst.
Yeah, Kyler was running for his life.
David Johnson was nowhere to be found.
David Johnson was hurt, and when he was playing, he was
Larry's
slow.
40.
Yeah.
No defense.
Yeah. And the thing you like from them is they had like an upward trend towards the end of last season where they were looking better week in and week out. Honestly, God, a lot of that, how much of that has to do with Kenyon Drake? They look like a completely different team.
A lot.
They look like a completely different team with Kenyon Drake.
That's a perfect running back for that system.
I know. And I would love to talk some fantasy on here at some point. But then again, I don't really want to because I don't want y'all knowing what I'm thinking. But Kenyon Drake for fantasy this year, ooh.
Yep. Dude, D-Hop might be top 5 pick.
D-Hop for a 2nd-round pick and David Johnson.
NFL trades will forever be the weirdest thing.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, Mohamed Sanu was traded for a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah.
Like what? David Johnson is a negative asset. Like the Cardinals like, wait, what? You want David Johnson? Okay. Like if they didn't have Kenyon Drake, okay, maybe. Yeah, and then they got Benjamin too in the last round.
They still got Patrick Peterson on that team.
Yeah,
they still got good leadership. I mean, Kyler's a natural born leader.
They did get some defensive help, like
a lot of defensive help.
Jordan Phillips had, I think, the most tackle or sacks for an interior defensive lineman last year, or 1 or 2. Devin Kennard was pretty good for the Lions last year. I don't know, dude. They're a good team, but
in a tough NFC, dude, I have a feeling about a couple other teams we're going to talk about.
But the thing about the Cardinals for me though, too, like you mentioned how tough the NFC is, dude. That division is a bloodbath.
I know.
You got the Niners and you got the Seahawks, who are both going to be really, really, really good.
It might be. It's probably the best division right now.
Yeah, probably, maybe. I mean, the NFC South's not going to be too bad. We'll talk about some of those teams. Who is the 4th team in the NFC West?
The Rams.
The Rams. That's right.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They didn't make the playoffs at 10-6.
Right. So you have 3 good teams and 2 like borderline great teams, in my opinion, in the
and
Seahawks.
An up and coming 4th team.
Yeah, that's why I have them in the 5-5. They're gonna have a brutal schedule, but they are on the up and up. I love the DeAndre Hopkins pickup for them.
In my mind, I'm like, could they be better than the Rams? Yeah, could they? I'm telling you right now,
it is possible.
Could they be better than the Seahawks? Maybe. Seahawks did not have that great of offseason.
No, yeah. I mean, is anyone going to sign Jadeveon Clowney?
I don't know. He's probably asking for too much.
I mean, it's just
somebody will get him.
It's weird that dude's still a free agent.
Yeah, somebody will get him.
But no, man. I mean, they're an interesting team for sure. They're one of those wild card teams where if things go right, they could have a breakout season.
Yep.
But they need a lot of things to go right, though.
Yep.
They need their offensive line to very much be better than it was a season ago. And while they did get Josh Jones, they didn't do all that much to improve it. They need their defense. Their defense really wasn't that terrible last year, actually. But they need their defensive line. I mean, I remember during the season we talked about that a bunch.
They needed tackling. I mean, their covering was horrible.
Yeah,
but now they have some real deal linebackers. I mean, they picked the Jordan Hicks too.
Yeah, Isaiah.
They got some linebackers, which I feel like linebackers are so important, man. If you don't have one,
for sure, and they were bad last year in that department. And then they get Isaiah Simmons.
Oh my God,
which is nice too, because I mean Isaiah Simmons, his build and everything. The Cardinals, we talked about this every week last season. We talked about how fucking awful they were against tight ends. Every week we were like, oh, well, this team has a good tight end, Cardinals are going to lose. This team has a good tight end, Cardinals are going to lose. Isaiah Simmons, with his build and his ability to play anywhere, could definitely take tight ends out of the picture.
I mean, dude, you can play multiple looks with that guy, especially with other linebacker help. I mean, he won't even be playing that much linebacker. He's going to be on the edge.
Yeah.
Or he might fake a blitz and drop back, cover someone in the slot, cover a tight end, drop back in a little zone in the flat, and then tackle someone trying to go for it.
Yep. We're having some technical difficulties, a little bit of lagginess here, so bear with us. But Isaiah Simmons, that might be. I know he's the 8th. It's hard to call the 8th overall pick the steal of the draft, but
there was a lot of steals.
Yeah,
the whole draft.
It was a weird draft.
Yeah,
a lot of steals for the Cowboys mainly.
Yeah, specifically.
All right. So Brett thinks the Cardinals. I think keep in mind, playoff contender is not saying that they're going to be a playoff team.
Right.
It's saying that they'll be in the hunt.
Yep, I think they'll be in the hunt.
I got them at 500, but them being a playoff contender wouldn't surprise me. Them being bad wouldn't surprise me.
Even being 500, it could be in the hunt. Never know.
I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true.